Wow.
And somehow that got out, and somebody downloaded a photographic software from the internet and lickety-split had it deciphered. And it turned out to be a mummified 2-year-old. Now, I still didn't believe it because it looked, you know, a mummy, I hate to say that I'm familiar with mummies, but being in physical anthropology I am, your mummy is usually appears desiccated. It's all covered in, you know, dust, and it looks, there's no life to it, right? There's no color to it. Yet this slide looked like it had been alive shortly before the picture was snapped, and the Kodachrome slide. We went to the manufacturer, and he said, "Yep, that slide, according to the code on the bottom, was 1947."
Wow.
It was 1947. Any other year I would have walked, but it was 1947. It looked just like what I had been told over the years, and it had these special markings on the skull that nobody knew about. And so they break the code. There's a fellow in Florida who we use a lot to help us, and he made a search on the internet for this particular mummy that was recovered by somebody named S.L. Palmer of San Francisco, California, and lo and behold, there it was.
Wow.
It was the exact creature, but it looked all desiccated, covered like a mummy. You know, a mummy had just been brought up from, some archaeological dig. And so at that point, I said, "Oh my God, we've been taken."
Why would someone take the time, Tom, to try to trick you?
I ask my wife that question all the time. Don't they have a life? Why would somebody go to in this case, the live stream, these two people, I won't give their names out because I don't want to get sued. These two gentlemen controlled the live stream, and they made out like bandits.
I bet. My God.
And we never, we hope that, to at least recoup some of our, expense money from the rollout in Mexico City.
Mm-hmm.
We never received a dime. And these two fellows, we've never seen them since. And that was, the rollout was in 2015. So
not too long ago.
Not too long ago. But that was the bad surprise, and I assume full responsibility for it because for me, everything pointed go. It was a go until they could read that placard at the foot, which collapsed everything. We could not read it because it was scrambled in such a way that we could not unscramble it.
What were the good surprises?
The good surprises involved our friend, our independent investigator in Florida, who set out to find out what happened to the Roswell wreckage. And this fellow, I'll give you his name, he won't mind his name, Anthony Bergalia. He has his own blog that's called UFO Explorations. Indefatigable, dogged investigator. He is just indefatigable. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And he found out what happened to the wreckage. And he not only determined where it had gone to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, of course, but he found that Wright-Patterson had farmed out the memory metal wreckage to Battelle Memorial Institute up the road from Dayton, Ohio, and Columbus, Ohio, in early 1948, to find out if they could back engineer this memory metal.
And that's what Corso said was one of his roles, to put it in the industry to back engineer it.
Yeah, absolutely, because the properties are just so unique. So they sent it to Battelle, and Tony actually got the interim update reports of them trying to find a match And we had learned from General Arthur Exxon, who had been the base commander in the mid-60s, that this material was made out of titanium plus one other element, but that he didn't know what it was. So they kept trying to find another element to match with titanium to mimic this memory metal. And Tony got a hold of the interim reports, the progress reports. And so what happened, Battelle did not like their names being associated with UFOs or flying saucers. So they farmed out, they discovered a match between titanium and nickel. So they farmed it out to the Naval Ordnance Lab in Maryland. And in 1962, they announced, the Naval Ordnance Lab, the development of this new material called nitinol. And it's spelled Ni, which stands for nickel, Ti for titanium, and NOL for Naval Ordnance Lab. So they announced it. Battelle didn't have their name on it, but it was Battelle that really developed it. And so in 1962 comes along nitinol. You could buy it by the roll, you could buy it by the coil, you could buy it by the, whatever. They use it in many applications, including the space program. So that was a good surprise, is that we learned that they did try to back engineer the memory metal, and they came up with nitinol, which is along those lines, but it, you can cut it and deform it and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
It's not as good as the original. The second good surprise also involved Anthony Bragalia. It happened in 2020. And as you recall, George, in 2017, Luis Elizondo, who was the head of this secret government UFO program, posted for the world to see these three videos. The Tic Tac video from the USS Nimitz in 2004, the cube inside a sphere from the USS Roosevelt in 2014, and another one where it showed a disc descending into the ocean. Those things everybody has seen. They looked legit. They were from the Navy gun cameras, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so what's the Department of Defense going to do? Say, no, they're weather balloons? No, they had to admit that they were legitimate videos of unknown objects.
Right, of something.
So, yeah, and that was followed by the New York Times wrote up this story in 2017, and coming from the New York Times, that sort of gives it the imprimatur of legitimacy. So Tony right away got a FOIA request off to the, first to Wright Patterson, then to the Battelle, and he got the runaround, so he sent a FOIA request to the Defense Intelligence Agency at the Pentagon. Well, they stalled for 3 years. And Tony has, he's self-employed, he has lawyers, and he said, okay, unless you give me a response to my FOIA request in 2 weeks, I'm going to sue you for compliance to respond to me. Because when you send a FOIA request, you have to receive a response sometime. So in 2 weeks, Tony receives back from the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency, hey, the UAP/UFOs, the wreckage is at Bigelow Aerospace in Nevada, and here's what they've been working on over the years. I wrote this down here because I didn't want to,
that's pretty dramatic too, Tom.
Yes. And they worked on, what do you call it, imaging, cloaking, image cloaking, shrinking the speed of light, interdimensional studies, things like that. And to me, that's time travel. They're working on time travel at Bigelow Aerospace. And, of course, Robert Bigelow was a good friend of Senator Harry Reid, and that's how they got that ATIP started, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification
Great
Program.
pivot. Hold on, Tom. We're going to take a break. I want you to finish that story, and Don Schmidt will join us. We'll take calls next hour with both of you.
Find out more about tonight's guest. Log on to coasttocoastam.com.
It sounds like it's her last words.
Weeknights at 6 on Kfi.
The podcast Wheelwoman tells the true story of Georgia Durrani, all-American girl, world-famous model, and getaway driver for the mob. Wheelwoman takes you on a thrilling ride through the unlikely life of one beautiful, smart, fascinating woman.
The rules were simple. Don't talk to anyone. Don't ask questions. Always park a block away. Make sure you're not being followed.
Listen to Wheelwoman on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Search, browse, and email privately, all for free with the DuckDuckGo app.
As parents, we've done everything possible to protect our kids from COVID-19, from using hand sanitizers to masking up. But now we have the most important tool, vaccines. They help protect our children and the entire family. And it's okay to have questions. Ask your doctor about the COVID-19 vaccine for your child, or visit vaccinateall58.com to learn more and find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
John Cobell here. I'm not going to tell you that your garage door looks hideous, but we know what your neighbors are thinking. You need to call Caliber Garage Doors today. They're brand new to KFI. They have a very special offer for you, so be ready. Caliber has been in business for more than 20 years. It has great reviews on Yelp. You go read them yourself. I met with Caliber, and they are the best out there. A new garage door will instantly improve the curb appeal and value of your home. It's the biggest door in your house, so get one that looks good. They have custom wood doors, traditional steel doors, a variety of materials, colors, and trim. You want it? Caliber has it. And here's the offer, $200 off any garage door, including free installation, bottom seals. They'll even haul away your old, dirty, broken-down door. Garage doors starting at just $7.99. Dial pound 250 on your cell phone right now and say Caliber Garage Doors. That's pound 250 on your cell phone and say Caliber Garage Doors. Or go right now to CaliberGarageDoors.com. That's pound 250 and say Caliber Garage Door.
Nothing gets past us. We are on it. KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. It's time for your morning wake-up call. And now, here's Jennifer Jones-Lee.
The weekend is right around the corner. It is your Friday Eve, Thursday, June 2nd. I'm glad you're here. It's KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Here's what's just ahead on your wake-up call. Police in Tulsa say at least 4 people have been killed in a shooting at a medical building on a hospital campus. I'll tell you the very latest that we have on that. The feds say a man has been arrested in Oklahoma for calling in bomb threats to 5 schools in L.A., and I have like a cornucopia of school shooting-related, threat-related stories this morning. I mean, if you don't think the copycats are out in full force, just listen to this newscast. I will let you know that they are. Students been shot outside a high school in the Valley Glen area of San Fernando Valley. And here's our bright spot. We have a 13-year-old from Corona who has advanced to the 5th round of the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Coming up at 5:05, it is a party fit for a queen. The UK is throwing right now this once-in-a-lifetime celebration for Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee. So we'll get into this with Tom Rivers in just a moment. I want to know how you celebrate a queen. What do they do over there to let the queen know, hey, we love you, lady, we appreciate you, and this, first time for everything when it comes to this celebration. So all that's coming up. Let's start with some of these stories coming out of the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A man has shot and killed 4 people at a hospital in Tulsa. This person works at St. Francis Hospital. She says she was concerned for the safety of hospital staff when the shooting happened late yesterday.
He took our doctors from us and the nurse, and these people have families, you know, children, husbands, wives, whatever. These doctors have patients that, you know, rely on them.
Police suspect the shooter took his own life. A student's been shot outside a high school in the Valley Glen area of the San Fernando Valley. The student was shot yesterday afternoon outside Grant High School. A car pulled up as he was walking outside the school, and someone fired a gun at the student, hitting him at the leg. The student tells KTLA it was a disturbing moment.
It was kind of like, it felt like kind of stressing because of what happened in Texas and everything.
The condition of the student was taken to the hospital where he's in stable condition. The LAPD says the shooting was probably gang-related. The feds say a man's been arrested in Oklahoma for calling in bomb threats to 5 schools in LA. Prosecutors in February and April say Marcus Buchanan called 2 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and 1 high school. Well, he wanted to cover everything, apparently. Agents say Buchanan also threatened to shoot kids as they left the school. Cops in Santa Ana say they will not file any charges against a school employee they say sent a threat to Mater Dei High School. The threat was received Tuesday, and it caused school administrators to shut down the campus this week. Students will go back to campus Monday. The school says all classroom doors will be locked during exams. The CHP says one of LA Mayor Garcetti's senior staff members has killed a pedestrian on the 170 freeway in North Hollywood.
The mayor's office says Joseph Avalos was in a city vehicle when he struck the person. The CHP says Avalos was going northbound Tuesday night when he hit the individual near the Victory Boulevard exit. It's not clear why the person was on the freeway. Sources with the LAPD say alcohol or drugs do not appear to be a factor in the accident. And Avalos, who's also an LAPD reserve officer, was not in a police vehicle. Those sources also say, unfortunately, several homeless people have been seen wandering along the freeways in the valley, and some have been hit and killed. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
A deadly shooting at a park in Rialto ruined a field trip for 80 first and second graders. Cops say one person was killed and another was hurt after a fight broke out between 2 groups of men playing basketball yesterday. The kids had to run for cover under picnic tables. Police are looking for at least 1 shooter. A baby in the back seat of a stolen car has been found in South LA. Police say the baby girl was inside the car with her mom yesterday when someone went in and stole it. The LAPD and LA County Sheriff's Department say they found the abandoned car with the baby inside. Flavored tobacco is leaving store shelves in LA.
The LA City Council has banned the sale of flavored tobacco products. City Councilman Bob Blumenfield says the ban includes menthol products.
The African American community came out strong saying that they wanted the menthol to be banned as well, and that why should a flavor that's targeting African American children be treated any differently than any of the other flavors?